Canada, a nation of vast size and enormous beauty. There's a lot of ice, and there's a love of ice. It's perhaps not a country we associate with the smooth turf of the football pitch, but soccer is loved here. Toronto is home to national broadcaster the Sports Network, or TSN, and they've seen a lot of changes in the way the Premier League is viewed, as the locals literally wake up to it.
It's incredibly popular with Canadians. The Premier League is the one that everybody is seeing. It's marketed supremely well, and they want to watch it every single morning. What people talk about and what we hear from them is that, you know, it's become a staple in their lives. They get up on a Saturday morning, they have their breakfast, they watch live sports, and you can't really do that in anything else on a Saturday morning over here in North America.
Despite football's popularity, live broadcasts of Premier League matches have only been available in Canada for 17 years. Before that, fans of the sport had to make do with highlights of games that were already a week old.
Back when I first started in the business back in '98, it was unusual. It was the first year of live coverage here in Canada, and it was very different. It was welcomed with open arms, but it was strange. We'd just come out of a period of a decade where people, all they had to watch in terms of Premier League coverage was week-old matches, and even that was really well received. But when live coverage came around in '98, it was something very special, and I felt special being a part of it.
To start with, just one live game a week was covered. Now, almost an entire weekend's fixtures are broadcast across 2 stations. Outside, on the parks and playgrounds, football appears to be the #1 participation sport in the country. But when it comes to a TV audience, soccer may always play second fiddle.
Hockey is the #1 sport here. This is what everyone knows. This is what they play. But I think what's happening now with soccer is it is on the rise.
We're going to take you to second half action when we return on TSN.
You may have heard this as well. In Canada, we're very diverse here, and I come from a family that immigrated to Canada, and the motherland is Italy, where soccer is huge. So a lot of that was brought on over to Canada from immigrants who come here, and they love the sport and they care about the sport and they want to play the sport. So when it's on TV, everyone gravitates towards it.
Pundit Janusz Mihalik emigrated to America with his parents when just a boy. He went on to play in the MLS and won 44 caps for the United States. Now he provides matchday analysis for an increasingly knowledgeable viewership.
My job is to tell them what's happening on the pitch. You know, I'm the former player. I look at the game from a standpoint, what happened, why it happened, what should have happened. I'm not much into statistics, never have been, because footballers aren't, and that's not my job.
Hey, it's a set piece against Liverpool. There's a surprise.
I always think that the defense know more than I do. Because when you start with that, then it ups your game and makes you do a great job.
And blue is the colour.
Of course, the star of the show is the product itself, which delivers drama season after season. Manchester City and Chelsea may have won the last 2 titles, but they've not quite shifted the old power balance when it comes to support across the Atlantic.
Our numbers dictate that whenever we have a Manchester United game, they are, superior to everything else. Manchester City have been very successful in the Premier League, but I still think they're growing in terms of an international brand. They've got fan bases out there, but they're not even, I believe, as much superior than the likes of, Aston Villa or Tottenham, the bigger clubs, Everton. Manchester City are almost on that level when it comes to viewership.
Then we had Morales miss the penalty, then we had Barkley miss the penalty.
This league, and again, there's no argument if it's the best or not. It is the most entertaining. I think it's the way it's presented by the host, in terms of stadiums, the fans, and the way the game is shown and shot by television networks there, it's second to none. It's how product should be presented.
You started with one network showing one match at the 10 a.m. slot on a Saturday morning. And I mean, that's gone to every match basically being available on the 2 main networks. But I mean, wall-to-wall coverage, you won't miss a minute.
I know that when I turn into Premier League, it's going to be a full house and it's going to be a great product, and most of the time it's going to be entertaining.
Can we say this on television?
There we go.